you don't need to look to anybody else to tell you what matters to you and where you should be putting your energy every single day. That knowing should come from you. That confirmation basically comes from how you feel, giving your time to certain things and being in certain jobs, being in certain relationships. So you know what works best for you. You don't need to look to anybody else because you have those skills, you have those abilities inside of you that only make sense to you and that are going to propel you in your life in a very specific way that isn't going to, that you shouldn't be looking for at somebody else's life to figure out what works for you. And, people can guide you. There are guides, there are coaches, there are counselors, all those kinds of things that can really, help keep you on track and to figure out after you know already what you care about, they can help navigate you. But the first step comes with you. It comes with knowing, again, the things that you care about, the things that, make sense for your skills. Like if you really love talking to people, you really love helping people, you could be a teacher in some way. If you really care about a certain topic, like you really care about, I don't know, like board games or something or card games, and you kind of just want to teach people how to you want to teach kids how to play games and you want to be like a gaming coach. I don't even know. That could be, there you go. That could be something. But it really matters what your skill set is, where you feel most comfortable, where you feel like most fulfilled, because we all have different things and we express them in very different ways. Even if you might have a similar, if you really love teaching and again, somebody else loves teaching, we always have thousands, hundreds, millions of teachers, especially in schools, but your specialty is very specific to you and it isn't what somebody else is doing because, you have, within teaching, you have a very specific set of skills. I think that's what Liam Neeson says. But yeah, getting back to my notes for today. If you're new here, I sit down with my tea and I read over my reflection notes from the day before. This was, I think, a couple days ago that I've been, thinking on and off about. But yeah, you ultimately know what feels right to you. Other people can help guide you and help you navigate that and sort of help you see it from a greater perspective and the bigger picture, because sometimes we can get really, really specific and really zoned in on one part of our journey that we kind of forget the rest of it. But a coach, mentor, anything like that can really help you see it from an unbiased, separate party perspective. So those can be really helpful. But again, knowing exactly what feels right to you comes from you. And when you start depending on other people for that knowledge, for that understanding of your own self, you are giving away some of your power and you're telling them that you don't trust your instincts, you don't trust your decision making, you don't trust your feelings basically to guide you, that you need to put your trust into another person to tell you exactly how to navigate your life. And when you put all of that weight on another person, not everybody is there to help you. There are some people who will see you lost and will see you confused and want to take advantage of you in that way because, again, when you're not listening to yourself and you have all this confusion, you feel like you need to look to other people instead of looking inside of yourself. Other people can try to guide you away from your path. If they've already seen what your skills are, they know what you're good at, they can try to steer you away so you don't reach yourself, basically, if that makes any sense. Because they will try to, get you away from your path because they see your path so strongly, and that if you really focused on your path, you could excel and you could, your success and your skills can be intimidating to them and they don't want you to see yourself. So that is why it's so important to know exactly who you are, to know, again, where you want to put your time, where you want to put your energy, the things that matter to you, and exactly how you can give your skills out to the world and not letting those people dictate your every single move. Again, we can have coaches and stuff that can really help us when we feel, obviously people you trust, because again, there are some people that we shouldn't trust that are just doing it to take advantage of you, to steer you away from whatever they see you could be potentially good at, and they don't want you to be good at that. That can also be a thing. Not everybody is there to help you. Not everybody cares about you. And, it can be, I used to be really naive and think that I could go to people for help or like, like another perspective or guidance or something like that. But that was really just telling them that I didn't trust myself, that I needed a second opinion. And they really took that opportunity to, sow doubt on what I was planning or what I was thinking about. And then I would get in my head about it and I would, overthink, and I would end up not making that decision. And then looking back like years, again, like now years in the future, and thinking like, why did I listen to that? Again, everything is like a learning experience, I know. But yeah, it can be hard not to think back to times where we let people, drive the ship for us, or, really make our decisions for us. And we can kind of regret doing that. So yeah, knowing what you care about and what feels right to you to put your energy in is key to, your decision making, where you don't have to rely on another person, where you don't have to depend on other people to tell you what to do. And that can be different. Like if you're in a job where you work under, somebody like the head of the team, where you need to like take I don't even know what they're called. I can't think of it right now. Take direction from that person. Like that is a different thing. Obviously you should be, but also like, I don't know, also be discerning with that too, because again, in that workplace dynamic, some people can take advantage of you and not want to do things themselves. So again, be discerning. And all of this is just to say, like, just to do what feels right to you in every aspect, in relationships, in jobs, in any type of decision-making situation. Because your time is very valuable and you deserve to be, guiding your own life and being the driver of your own life. And let me see what else I have for my notes. Yeah, so that is why it's imperative that you get to know yourself and what you are passionate about. People around you and the people who love and care for you can act as a confirmation to help you continue on your path when you sort of start to question it. But that initial knowing comes from you. People can help as, guides sometimes when we feel a little bit unsure. Of course, like the people around you that who genuinely love you are going to help you. And, that also takes discerning, knowing who cares about you and who doesn't really care about you, and who really wants to support you because they love you and they want to see you happy and they want to see you succeed in, the path that you have with the skills that you have. And then there are the people who kind of want to just like take advantage of that and steer you as far away from your path as possible. So know which position people fit in your life. Because no one can tell you how best to live your life except for you. Nobody knows you the way that you know yourself. And that can be so freeing, because you can choose wherever you want your life to go. You have all the power and all of the possibilities, all the skills within yourself to be whatever you want, to be whoever you want, to do whatever you want, and to do that however it feels right to you. Again, not how it feels for, whatever Sally in the next cubicle is doing. We're not following her path because her path is whatever her path is, but we are following our own path. Whatever feels right to you, whatever feels fulfilling to you, in whatever aspect. You don't need to ask around and look at what other people are doing and to see if you need to fall in line with them, because we don't even know what they're doing. We don't care what they're doing, because I feel like sometimes falling in line and doing what other people do can be more convenient, but it is also going to pull you further away from what you should be doing. And I think that also makes me think of, there's this movie. I don't even remember what it's called. I don't remember. I just remember it was sort of like the Hunger Games, I think, but also not, like minus the fighting. But everybody had a role in the society, and they had to wear like a certain color. They did this by a certain age. Like they couldn't ride their bike until this age. And it was just like everybody was falling in line with it and everybody was just accepting it. And then I think it was that kid from 13 Reasons Why who was in the movie. Was it called The Giver? I think. I don't remember. I could be way off. But I'm just thinking about that, where, there's certain people who just will fall in line with whatever is happening around them because it is more convenient, because it's comfortable, even though it might be, you know, deep down at the core uncomfortable for them because they know that they're meant for different things. It is more comfortable socially because they're just doing what everybody else is doing, whether or not that's right for them. But that is when you need to take like intentional time to yourself to figure out exactly what feels right to you and to figure out what you care about, what you want to achieve, where you see your life headed, where you see yourself like giving your gifts and your skill set in whatever job, position, you know, business, whatever it is that feels the best for you, because your journey is unique from anybody else's, like from a sibling, from a parent. It is completely different from them because, again, you have your own skills which are inside of you. Like, you don't need to look around to other people to see what they're doing. And again, which can be really, really freeing. It can also be a little bit scary because you might be doing something that is so out of the norm of the people that you're around that people just don't understand it. But as long as it makes sense to you, that's all that matters. And as long as you are using your skills in a way that feels right to you, that's all that matters too. You deserve to live a life you feel excited to wake up to every day, not one that you basically wake up in dread having to do certain things, and something that aligns with you and with your heart, with you at your core. You have the gifts and the skills to get there. Don't hold yourself back any longer. That was my final note. Because the more you try to, again, fall in line with what everybody else is doing, I cannot speak today. The more you fall in line with what other people are doing, you fall further away from your path. And especially if just falling in line does not feel right to you, you have to figure out what does feel right to you. And that takes, you know, sitting with yourself, being quiet, even for like 10, 15 minutes, and really sitting with yourself and the skills, the things that you feel called to do. Again, even if it doesn't make sense to everybody else, that doesn't matter, because your path is your own. You weren't like put on this, you weren't born to do what everybody else around you is doing. And I feel like, you know, sometimes parents can really want to see their kid follow in their footsteps because that is all they know. They don't really know anything else. Not all the time, but in my own personal experience, that's what I've seen. And, you know, anything outside of that norm can feel like terrifying and just impossible. But, you know, you're here to break those norms and to do what feels right to you, what feels right to you to do. And again, it doesn't have to make sense. And people can misunderstand you. People can purposefully misunderstand you or try to guide you away. And again, people can see your skills and want to get you as far away from them as possible because they know that you would be so incredibly amazing and life-changing and groundbreaking with what you do. So, all of that to say, just keep doing what you feel called to do. You have all of the skills inside of you. Again, whether it is speaking, it is, you know, like charity work, whether it's working with kids, whether it is, I don't know, working with animals, whatever it is that you feel most resembles and reflects you as a person, go and do that. Please don't think about what everybody else is doing. I don't even know sometimes if they know what they're doing. So it's the blind leading the blind sometimes. But yeah, that was my reflection for the day. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was a little bit of a push to get you to do what you feel like you're doing, what you feel works best for you. And, you know, continue. If you're doing that, continue what you're doing. And it'll all make sense. Sometimes we might not see those results immediately. It might take a few months. It might take a few years. But as long as it feels right to you, just keep doing that thing. It's going to make sense, and your people are going to find you, and everything is going to fall into place. So don't feel discouraged. I know it can be really, really difficult to, because sometimes I do. But it's all going to work out, and it's going to be so fulfilling and so incredible when you've stuck with that thing. Despite what other people are saying, you didn't give in, you didn't really care. I mean, you might have cared, but not enough for you to stop doing what you're doing. But you kept with it, and you made it happen, and you succeeded. And then people would be like, oh my God, like they actually did it. Like that Liberty Mutual commercial when the emu wanted to like be in the commercials, and then the commercial said like five years later, and the dude was in his house like, wow, he really did it. That's gonna be you. You're gonna be that emu selling whatever they say in the commercial. But it's possible. Whatever you want to do is possible. And if you have that calling, that knowing, that yearning, like day after day to do something, and that sticks with you, just set a little bit of a plan, do a little bit every day, and you'll get it done. Just take those actions, take those steps to make it a reality. And before you know it, it will be your new reality, and it will just be your life, and it won't be like a dream anymore. It's just going to become your reality, which is like really, really exciting. So yeah, that was, today's reflection. I know I added a little bit more there, but I feel good about that. I hope that was helpful. And I'm going to finish my tea, and I got to go to CVS. So that is my day. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.